GG18 is a core workout with 3 main goals. Advanced abs training. We're gonna bulletproof the back, so important, especially that lower back. If that hurts, life sucks. We're also gonna build insane levels of stamina and endurance. Let's break down each exercise before you get into an insane workout to finish off your training week. Peace. The inchworm is one of my all-time favorite starting exercises. Also great for off-day recovery. And what's so beautiful about it, we're stretching the hips and the hamstrings, mobilizing the shoulders, and man, do we strengthen the core on this. Now, this is typically done in big spaces where there's continuous forward movement. I'm gonna show a modification because most of us are gonna be in a small enough space where we'll actually have to go forward and back. We'll get a very similar effect on this. So, keeping the legs as straight as you can. And the closer your feet are together, the bigger the stretch. Try to minimize rounding of the spine. A little bit upper back movement is fine. Inhale it down. And try to palm it if you can. You might have to go fingers. And then from there, I'm gonna do one big inhale out to as far as I can overhead. You might have to be here. If you can get out here, that's even better. If you can get all the way here in a good dip, that's ideal. That's what you work for. And then smooth exhale as I walk my feet back to my hands. Now again, you have a football field or a big long hallway or a big gym space, I could go right into my next rep. But what we're gonna do is this. I'm gonna reverse it and I'm gonna inhale out as I walk my feet back, slowly keeping the legs straight. Get that big good stretch and then go right back to the next rep. That one rep feels like what it is, which is a full body mobility workout, but you go for time on this. And if it is problematic for you, again, put it on off days. This is gonna fix so many of the issues we have that happen when we sit a lot at our workstations, commuting a lot, bus, car, whatever. Hopefully not helicopters, but if that is, you sit a lot. So enjoy this one, take it outside of your workout, but this will set the tone for the rest of this session. Lack of mobility is one of the biggest impediments to really advancing in your core training. For example, a movement like in L sit, especially when we're talking about doing it from an on-hand position or a dip bar, if we don't have enough hamstring flexibility, all right, we can't get there without having to bend the knees and or feeling lower back pain. So this is a great kind of entry-level drill for this, especially for extended time under tension. Something you can also work with watching TV at night. The key is keeping the legs completely straight and squeezing the quads. And one thing you'll notice on this too, that middle quad, it's both a knee extensor and a hip flexor. So it's very active on this exercise. It can often cramp. What that tells you is this guy needs some love with some foam rolling of that middle quad, also that quad hip flexor / couch stretch, or if you will, the bottom of the Bulgarian split squat stretch that we worked before. So what you'll do here is you'll kind of drive your arms underground, pack the shoulders down, exhale up, lifting that leg as high as you can and holding for 1 or 2 seconds. You're gonna feel obviously in the hip flexors, the psoas, high hip flexor, but also especially that mid quad. Inhale it down. Now, what you'll notice if you're really tight is your trunk is gonna wanna kick back as you lift. So you can start with a slight recline in the trunk, but you're gonna try to work to get as upright as you can, like you would at the top of a sit-up or seated overhead press, so that we're getting the hamstring mobility and the maximum hip flexor activation while smoking the anterior thigh. So now, once you get that extra stability and it feels good, you're warmed into it, no cramping going on, you can try doing a prayer. And that now it's all, you gotta really drive this leg down and lift without letting yourself tip back. And this is my tighter side, so it makes me wanna kick back a little bit. I just have to fight to keep upright as I do it. And again, I can spend more time isometrically trying to make sure this I don't toe out and I can get that toe back to the shin as I lift that leg. So you can modify by working to this, and again, just spend more time in that tight weak side, identify it, and work it more on off days. Legs and abs, baby, but also incredible hip stability, overall lower body stability work to kind of bulletproof your wheels. Now, you can set this up any way you want. I do want you to elevate the heel of the front leg to get more range of motion to the hip and the knee and also more low quad stress. But I can do this with my toe on the floor. I can also do it with my back toe elevated on the other slant board, or I could do it elevated with the back foot up here like Bulgarian split squat style, which you'll see in the follow along version portion of this workout. But let me just show it like this. So what I'm gonna do here is it's 3 minutes total, 90 seconds each side, but you'll do each leg 45 seconds iso, and then 45 seconds dynamic reps before switching sides. Go light med ball. Again, you're gonna be holding this for 3 minutes total, okay? So just remember, even a 2-pounder or a 1-pounder will give you enough. Your arms can give you enough of a stimulus here, especially for time. So we get set up, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sink down, get as low as I can with good control, balance as if I'm balancing a glass of water on my head, and then exhale up, inhale down. Keep your eyes focused on one point. 45 seconds here, pre-fatigue ISO. Then exhale up, inhale down, exhale up, inhale down. So this movement across the body, it's working kind of in multiple planes there, side to side and rotational. It just challenges your spinal, hip, and also ankle stabilizers, knee stabilizers in a way that's so unique beyond, anti-movement, core stabilization work, full body work, obviously smoking the legs too. Then you'll switch sides and repeat. This is my kind of favorite option because we keep the back toes involved and we get the extended stretch on both legs for maximum lower body development while adding this dynamic action across the body. So a little bit of chop to build some tree trunk legs and a chiseled core. I know you like it, I know it. Toes elevated, 1, 1, 2, sumo deadlift complex. I'm going 3 minutes total on here, right? And so are you. 1 minute each position, elevating the toes to really increase the stretch through the hips, the hamstrings, and most importantly, that ankle, calf, all right? So go wide and keep those toes as forward as you can. I want them directly ahead. We're gonna start with one arm, and you're gonna do a kind of hybrid of a squat hinge as you reach down. Now, obviously, you can just see the difference when I don't elevate the toes, right? It's much easier to get down there, right? So it's putting you in this extended stretch from the beginning of the movement. So it's gonna be harder to move through the ankle, but that's what also will enhance the stretch. Do the best you can, always keeping the shoulders higher than the hips. So inhale down, you can even kind of start here and then kind of pull your chest up a bit. Exhale it up. Inhale it down, okay? 1 minute there. 1 minute there. And by the way, you'll loosen up into it at about the 90-second mark. You'll start to really feel some more motion through the hips and the ankles. And then the final minute here, okay? It's gonna test you even if you're doing it with perfect form and technique. We're talking 3 minutes of posterior chain work. So if you can, let's say, typically sumo deadlift a 50-pound bell, maybe go with 25 on this. You can always go heavier in subsequent sessions, but we're adding more mobility demands, and we're also doing this in a 3-minute stack. Most people don't do deadlifts for more than 15 to 20 seconds. So again, this is more of a stamina endurance movement, mobility, range of motion focus. So treat it as such. I want to feel nothing in the lower back here. The hardest plank is anytime you're overhead or especially inverted. So we continue our handstand progression with the wall walk up. I'll show modification. If you don't have a wall, you can also do this against a door. And if it's an issue with walls, just go socks. Take your shoes off for this portion of the workout or for the whole workout as needed. But here's what it looks like. I'm going to exhale, walking the wall up, small movements of the arms and legs from plank to pike position or horizontal to vertical, and then I will inhale it back. So here we go. Get to the end range and just kind of, hold it there, own it for a bit. A couple seconds, maybe up to 5 to 10, and then inhale it back down, all right? Very tough. Feel free to rest, pause as needed between reps. Each rep feels like a full set and a full workout, right? This really challenges your shoulders, and it's teaching your shoulders how to stabilize as you move from that horizontal to overhead position. So we're getting all these unique angles while, again, stabilizing the spine as well. So modification, if for some reason you have access to the wall or you don't feel ready for it, and by the way, you can only, if you only need to walk up like halfway, maybe a quarter up, halfway up, that's how you can start, or that's how you can back off as you fatigue. But the other option is elevate your feet, start in plank, and then kind of walk back as far as you can into pike, all right? And this does create a much more, this actually does really stretch the hamstrings, where the other version on the wall, your legs are straight. So that can be a limiting factor if you have really tight hamstrings and or lower back discomfort, but that is a modification or option to work in. They're both great. You can mix between them. That's also part of why the warm-up for this workout was the inchworm, so that we could open these guys up a bit. So big challenge, Do the best you can, take it on, and know that this is just a drill that even elite gymnasts continue to do this type of work, whether it be for warm-ups or more stamina or just working their form and technique. So you're never beyond this exercise. So that, in addition, it'll take some time. The alternating arm hang. What's great about this is doing regular single arm hangs for time is tough. Usually people start with like 1 or 2 seconds at a time, right? So by alternating arms, each arm gets to rest and we can actually work it for time in a way that allows us to build up stamina, endurance, and kind of a non-competitive or managing fatigue type of setup. Now, before I get into it, I want to talk the gripping on this. And what I want you to do, yeah, you can obviously grip it like this, but again, I'm a big fan of doing more of the hook, kind of monkey style grip. So kind of going over and then really smooth and just kind of hooking versus trying to over squeeze, which ends up not only burning out your forearms really quick, but also can create a lot of excessive tension in the elbow and make you more of a elbow dominant versus shoulder dominant puller, all right? Things we want to kind of avoid. So here's where you'll most likely start. We go self-assisted, back toes here. And again, if I go feet flat, I get a lot more assistance. And by the way, what you got to do in this, when you go one arm, it kind of wants to tilt you off to the side. So you got to really pull those shoulders down and back and adjust to it. And I can work in also some kind of passive versus active positions, okay? Or if you wanted to just kind of hang and move between that or do like a shrug, you could. And then I would just switch sides. And I'll be going like this for 3 straight minutes, okay? Just switching. Now, if I go on the toes like this, now it's much more of my body weight involved. And I'm just switching and hooking, okay? Passive versus active. You can mix in both. The most challenging option will be obviously your full body weight. So you could start full body weight, back off to self-assisted, or you could do it warm up self-assisted, try to get into this. But again, this is something I want you to add to your daily EHO, every hour on the hour mobility work too, as our normal practice. So we lock in and just keep hooking and switching. There's a point obviously where both arms are on, and then you want to release and kind of lock yourself down. If you are in a door frame, you could also kind of self-assist as needed, kind of making sure you don't turn or twist, but just try to get as active as you can, pull down, and you're gonna feel this desire to kind of move off to the side. That's where the core contribution is really important. So just really focus on, instead of letting your body turn away like this, packing down and fighting to stabilize, okay? Very challenging, all right? Do the best you can with it. And again, self-assist, especially in the beginning, because of how much time you're gonna be working on it, it'll really feed the ability to eventually do this on one arm, no problem, without even thinking about it. But it starts here, and try to really master that hook grip. And this is also where it's really important. If you don't have grippers, maybe electrically tape your bar. Just make it as comfortable as possible to minimize calluses and discomfort. On paper, this workout looks really simple, but it is deadly. And by the way, all of these variations are gonna be now essential options or variations in your ongoing training toolbox. So have fun with this one. Super core intensive, but also heavy mobility. And this will set the tone in a lot of ways for the rest of the year with the movements we're progressing to finish off an incredible, true full year or season of training. Have a beautiful workout. You're done in 20 minutes. Make your post-workout report in the comment section below and get some gains.
Go.
Halfway. Rest. Go. Halfway. Rest. Go. Halfway. Rest. Go. Half weight. Rest. Go. Half weight. Rest. Go. Halfway. Rest.